Okay, so we're at the property now. So finally it's ours. We took possession yesterday. We actually had a delay. We were supposed to take it on February 7th and then on the 14th, and then they still didn't have the property ready for us. So it pushed over the long family day weekend and we finally got it yesterday. So here we are. We had the locates done, so both private locates and locates for Alberta One Call. So now we've got the locates, we have an idea of where everything is. We're going to be able to move forward with at least getting rid of some trees and things like that. Demo won't happen right away. This is how they left the property, with a bunch of garbage and things like that, but it is what it is. Our locates are here. So we got the digital copy already, but now we have this one. On top of that, we've got a little bit of work to do in the backyard. So they did leave quite a bit of garbage there. We asked for a hold back, so I guess we should see that relatively soon. We're looking, we've got our asbestos test done now. We had that done actually while the house was still under the possession of the other owner. I expect we'll probably have that result back tomorrow. I was thinking it was going to be today, but not so lucky. So lots of garbage and things like that. Lots of trees, shrubs, and then obviously just lots of garbage. So what we'll end up doing is actually coming through, taking out all of this here with the backhoe. We'll end up cutting down this weekend likely all of these trees and starting to clean up the lot. So right now what we've got is that tree and this tree are probably going to be the ones to go. Then we've also got a couple growing out of the foundation that we'll see in a minute. Those will go. They probably did cause some sort of undermining on the foundation. If you ever have a house that has trees or shrubs next to it, what you don't want to do is let them grow, because the roots will actually penetrate into the concrete, especially if it's a cinder block wall like this one here. You can actually see on that side there, the parging starting to crack out. That's probably actually not related to the tree, but more so the moisture. But when you have something like that, what you're doing is you're really putting your foundation at risk. So if you have trees or shrubs like this, you want to get rid of those. One of the other things is that while they were doing the removal of all the garbage that was inside, somebody broke the window. Now they did tell us that the window was actually broken when somebody tried to break in, but the glass is on the outside. So I don't know who they're trying to kid. But then on top of that, if anybody broke into here, it is possible they tried to break out, because it was absolutely horrible in there. Down the side here, we've got the markings. So you can see this yellow line is actually an undetermined gas line. So we think that this was the abandoned gas line. The new gas line that would have been put in years after the original runs straight up there and into the alley. We've actually got ATCO Gas is going to be coming out on Friday. They should be coming, actually maybe it's Thursday. I believe it's Thursday. So tomorrow they're going to come out, and what they do is they actually set up a plan on how they're going to pinch the gas line. So they don't have shutoffs for gas lines like they do with water lines. So what they'll end up doing is they come out, they make the plan, and then they issue a quote to us and let us know how much it's going to cost for them to hydrovac in the alley and go and cut off the gas service. Once they've done that, then we pay that. They put us into a queue. Right now it sounds like it's 6 to 8 weeks. So that's going to be the big holdup on the demolition right now. But once we have that done, we are basically going to be free to demolish the house. So at this point here, it's just a waiting game, unfortunately. But it's one of those things that we knew going into this, that we weren't going to know certain things. So in this case here, I know how to build houses. I built many houses, but I've never done the real estate development aspect of it. And so this is one of those things that we'll know for the next time to kind of prepare for this a little bit earlier. So going back here, what the guys decided to do, there used to be a travel trailer right here, and it was actually loaded with old debris, specifically like tree branches and clippings. They dragged it out here, lit it on fire. One of the other reasons we didn't take possession on the Friday was essentially they were still cleaning up, and they'd mentioned that they were going to be burning this huge pile. And I thought, well, I don't want the liability on that. So that's another thing that we'd considered, was if they decided that they were going to light this on fire and it caught the house on fire, the neighbor's house or something like that, we didn't want that to be on our liability. So we left that with the old owner. Coming up to the back, they got a nice shed. So this here, it looks like somebody's been in here actually since we took possession, and it looks like they might have just tried to see what they could take out of there. You know, it is what it is. We've got a couple of toilets back there that weren't removed, but that all really comes to our $500 holdback. We'll just be responsible for taking that from now on. The gates were left off. We just threw those on actually before we started the video. And then we've got this tree here is going to be our biggest problem. This one in the corner that's right next to the toilet there, it branches over the neighbor's property and leans quite heavily, but I think we're going to be able to mitigate that during the demolition process. We'll have a larger excavator here. We might try to pull it our way. We might have to hire an arborist to cut it down. We'll sort of determine that as we go forward. But if we walk up to the house, you can see that this house was actually built in two different stages. So the first stage was back in 1945. They built the original square, which essentially is this piece here, but only in front of it. The addition is actually from the original building right there, where you can see the plywood on the side of the house. That's part of the original. The additional part is actually the garage and the bedroom that's right here with that kind of the shorter window, and then this structure here. We don't know exactly when that was taken, but we looked at the overhead images in the history of them, and it looks like it was probably between 58 and 68. So there's no definitive time frame, but the main structure itself, as well as that, do not have a basement. So that makes it really easy. It's either on slab, which we anticipate that this portion and the garage will be, and then this portion over here, the addition there, that's actually the basement. So it's actually only like 15 by 20, 22, something like that. And so it's going to be pretty small. So the demolition should be pretty easy. Good. Warm your hands up for a minute.